Welcome to all you Leos, and this is your general horoscope for Leo for November 2016. In the last month in October, I was talking about this very interesting aspect between Jupiter and Pluto happening. Two planets that are a lot about power, they're a lot about strength and growth, very profound growth, very deep growth and evolution. And now this is triggered by Venus, so there's a lot of values involved here as well. This Venus-Pluto is in your 6th house for you Leos, and it's squaring up to your 3rd house. So what does it mean? Now, I think for a lot of Leos, it will have to do with either or both, either work or health. And there is something about two different contexts can play out here. The one context can be with the Venus-Pluto there. Venus and Pluto together is a bit like Venus in Scorpio. It really has a strong desire and a strong value system. They either like it or they don't like it. And when it's in the 6th house, let's say that on the positive way, it could mean that you're a bit afraid of transforming, you're a bit afraid of changing something that has to do with work or something that has to do with your daily routine or with your health. And my advice would be go for it and do it anyway, even when you are afraid of it, because it's going to give you the possibility to grow tremendously. And the growth is in your house of thinking. So the state of mind, your feeling lighter and more positive when it comes to the way that you think, your mind. And don't forget, the mind and the body work together. So it's good for your health to have this positive approach as well. So for some people, it will play out like that. Especially if they are a bit, they really want to do a job, or they really want to do a project, or they really want to do, or even a person that they at work that they want to approach, but they're a bit afraid of it because of the situation there. Really, the sign is there, go for it. Now, on another level, it could work out on another level as well, that you are too attached to a job, an old job, that you are too attached to a love interest, maybe at work, that is very toxic, becoming very obsessive almost. If that is the case, then my advice is let it go. Let it go, because with the Venus and the Pluto there, if there is a too strong attachment towards it, exactly what Venus-Pluto wants you to learn is the letting go, is and that is the transformation. And even then, it can come to you whilst you let it go and give it space. This is what Venus-Pluto is all about. It's like transforming through letting go of the fear, letting go of the control. So if you're trying to control a situation, if you try to manipulate a situation at work or with a person at work, then it's gonna backfire. So the best thing here to do is to be very honest with yourself, to be very truthful to yourself, so you can see that some patterns at work or some jobs or some people in your life are just no longer matching up with you, and you know it damn well, but you just are afraid to let go of. And that is a process to let these people, to give them space and not trying to control them. And then you will feel way lighter when it comes to your mind. That's one thing. Now, this all happens on 15 degrees. So 15 degrees of Capricorn, 15 degrees of Libra. And at 15 degrees of Capricorn, there is a fixed star called Rukpat, which is the symbol of steadiness. And it's the archer's stance. So it implies steadiness, solidness. So this means that if you're really handling this energy at its best, so which is the letting go if you're too strongly attached to it, or if it is the going towards it if you're afraid of it. If you're doing that, then there is like this promise of a long-term growth, of a long-term transformation. And that is just really fixed there. And don't forget, Leo is a fixed sign. So it likes things to be, especially when they're good, to stay that way. And then there's also something that is less important, but I also want to mention is in your 5th house, there is a new moon on the 29th, but already on the 13th, Mercury, the planet of thinking, communication, enters that 5th house of yours. So there is like a lot of, and it squares up to your 8 with the Neptune there. So again, this theme of Neptune, Saturn, a lot of astrologers, including certainly me, have been talking about this Neptune-Saturn square. Reality, Saturn versus Neptune, the ideal. Boundaries versus no boundaries. So this is brought up again, but maybe with the thinking process in that 5th house of which is your house. Basically, it's the most joyful house. You're the most joyful sign. It's a house of pleasure. It's a house of romance. It's a house of the heart chakra. It's a house of children. It's a house of your own projects that you create. It's the way that you express yourself. And with Venus Saturn there is like this serious thinking about how you're doing all these and how you're mastering Venus and Saturn, how you are mastering all these areas, romance, you know, all the 5th house that I just said, romance, children, projects, and so on. So, but whilst all this seriousness is going on, don't forget at the same time to be open towards the metaphysical side of life, which is the Neptune there in your 8th house. So it's a constant finding that balance between not become too rigid when it comes to those fiery aspects of you, not become too, let's say, not spending enough time for yourself, not spending enough time to enjoy yourself. And on the other hand, it's also a balance between not overdoing the metaphysical, not just floating around and thinking that, oh, it's all fairy tales here. So it's really about having both worlds here, the reality and also other realms that we cannot see. And it's about how you think about that in a rather structured way, but also that there is some sort of belief, and that is also part of that reality. So having said that, it's quite an interesting month for you Leos on all different pieces of areas of your life. So it's not the biggest month for Leo in general, but it surely is, especially those who want to transform their work, especially those who are struggling with some love issues when it comes to being a bit too obsessive. It's a time where that can be turned around. So enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, keep on spreading the videos around, and thanks again, and see you next month.